Giants are 4-1 against the spread over the last 5 games, so they've been a cover monster. Really, 4-6 against the spread in the last 12. Discount them. Go with the 4-1 statistic. Take the Giants to cover this game. 7 points. This is free money. I think this is one that we overlooked, just like the Pittsburgh-Indianapolis game on Thursday. I think the Giants win it handily, 34-13.
Yeah, I'm with you on all aspects of that. Browns are averaging a league worst 37 rushing yards per game. That's absolutely horrendous. Giants have a great run defense. It seems like they're really playing very well. I think they're on a 6-3, 7-3, something like that.
They're a good football team.
Yeah, they're right in the thick of it. They actually got a running Rashad Jennings involved last week, and he actually played pretty well. Browns, on the other hand, are averaging...
Fucking Orleans Darkwa.
Yeah, Browns are averaging 8.7 points per game over their last 3 games. I did not realize that until I looked that stat up. They can't score. They're not going to be able to run on the Giants. I don't know if it's going to be windy come Sunday in Cleveland. That 7-point spread, you're right, Tom. I have to believe it's a gift. Total is 44. I still think it goes a little bit under 27-7 New York Giants. I see Eli Manning having a very good game.
Yeah. So we're all in agreement. It's just no trouble for the Giants this Sunday.
No trouble for the Giants. Yeah.
No trouble for the Giants. The only thing is, I wouldn't touch that over/under 44. Here again, defense might come into play. Special teams, Giants might get a pick 6. Who knows? If Cody Kessler plays, if I get sacked on the 2-yard line, and Pierre, whatever his name is, Jason Pierre-Paul will trot in for a defensive score. Ugly day for the Browns.
Club fist his way into the end zone.
Yep, club fist.
Yeah,
ugly day
there's
for the
always
Browns.
Next year for the Cleveland Browns.
And the only good thing about the Browns this week is they're looking forward to next week where they play nobody. They have a bye. So.
Yeah, and I heard they're actually a 6-point underdog.
Yeah.
I saw a joke earlier today. It said, bye week 24, Browns 21.
That might. I don't think the Browns could score 21 against the bye week.
No, they probably can't. But they're saying they have a chance. So
you're
moving on. This is in my backyard here. Seattle Seahawks coming all the way down here to Tampa, Florida to take on the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. Seattle is a road 6-point favorite. Over under here 45. I find that to be a little tough to swallow. It is a 6-point road favorite coming corner to corner. I know that Seattle went into New England, and I think at that point they were a 7.5-point underdog that night, and they beat up on New England a little bit physically. This one scares me. Tampa, you never know. They're Jekyll and Hyde. They're very excited down here after they went into Arrowhead and beat the Chiefs last week. I'm not convinced that the Chiefs are playing a peak performance right now. No Jeremy Maclin.
They excited? They're going to win the Super Bowl now?
Tampa?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. This area is they're all of a sudden they're inspired. They do believe that they got something here. But look, the Kansas City Chiefs without Jeremy Maclin are a different team. I don't care what anybody says, especially between quarterback and receiver. Experience makes all kinds of difference. Guys like Chris Conley, guys like Tyreek Hill in Kansas City, sure, probably good young talent, but these are late-round draft picks. These are not guys who are polished receivers. It changes everything. Alex Smith scrambled and scored and threw the ball to Travis Kelce. Spencer Ware was rendered pretty much useless out of the backfield last week against the Bucs. So I'm just not excited about that win for Tampa. They're going to come back home. This is a young team who believes their own hype. This is a young team who has a young first-year head coach who's been around. Well, he's not young, but he's been around as a head coach only at the college level. I don't know that he knows how to wrangle the professional athletes who start trying to blow themselves all the time. And that's what I see a lot of is this celebration and this we're good, it's happening. I don't buy it. I think Seattle does come in here and beat them, but I'm really leery of that 6 points. I'm going to take Seattle 27-21 and probably a push in this ballpark.
I'm kind of going along that stretch too. This is weird for a 6-point road dog or home dog, I should say. That's tough. That's tough to wrap your up. Yeah, I know, right? I mean, Seattle is playing very good football right now. They seem with Cam Chancellor back in the middle, they seem to have figured some stuff out. I was thinking along the lines of push, but I'm actually going to go ahead and say Seattle squeaks out a cover here, and I think it's going to, like I said, it's going to be a tough game in Tampa. The Bucs will play them pretty good, but I like Seattle to win 24-17.
24-17, Seattle Seahawks. Pepper Jack.
Well, Seattle's really coming on. They're impressive both sides of the ball. Russell Wilson is healthy. Doug Baldwin back involved. Jimmy Graham back involved. Tampa Bay doesn't cover tight ends very well. I know we said last week that Tampa Bay is a team that is in disarray. I'm not so certain they're in disarray, but I think they're going to be in disarray come Sunday. I see Seattle beating them. I see Seattle covering that 6-point spread. Give me Seattle 27, Tampa Bay 14.
27-14. Tampa has not been a very good home team this year. Just got their first home win a couple weeks ago, and it was against the Bears. That Bears team is not very good at all. And I want to just say one more thing about the Buccaneers. Kansas City last week drives all the way downfield and throws a pick six to Chris Conte. I think it was a pick six. Maybe he didn't bring it back to the house, but big interception when they're about to score. It changed the whole momentum in the game. It was second half play. They're not that good. Don't get all boned up over it here, Tampa. It's not that exciting. Moving on. Speaking of not that exciting, the Carolina Panthers have been a rightful disappointment all season long. They're just not playing up to the promise. Last year, finishing the season 15-1, going to the Super Bowl, getting beat up by the Denver Broncos. But it's predictable and it's almost laughable. It almost seems as if this team is starting to come back around and define their groove. But with some injuries, we'll see. They actually travel to the Black Hole, take on the Oakland Raiders, who are a 3-point home favorite. Over under here 49.5. Who wants it?
Ooh, this is one of those things. You look at that 3 points right there, and you're thinking, is this a trap for the Raiders?
Might be.
Coming off that win in Mexico City. That's what I'm starting to think, is what they're trying to tell you. I think everybody and their brother is going to, I would imagine, will be on Oakland unless they're thinking it's a trap. With the way Carolina's shaped up this year, I think they might be calling for a road upset here. I think that I'm just going by strictly what that number tells me. I'm going to have to say the Raiders have a letdown this week at home, and Carolina finds a way to win this 24-20.
Okay. Dick.
Well,
I'm
think
just being honest.
The Raiders are due for a letdown game. They have been playing very well. Being a Raider fan my whole life, I know that there's times when they just cannot get up for a football game. I think they're going to get up for this game, though, coming off that Monday night victory when America got to see what the Raiders are doing. Carolina is 2-7-2 against the spread this year and haven't covered a spread on a road game yet. They're allowing a league worst 345 passing yards per game on the road. Also, I see an awful lot of my man Derek Carr. We might see some AC/DC this week.
I think so.
What do you got for that total, Tom?
Total's high. It's 49.5.
That's going over. Raiders win this game. I do agree, Joey. They're due for a letdown game, but I cannot go against the silver and black. They're going to cover that 3. I think it's going to be a good football game. This one here might be one of the better games of the week, but I think the Raiders put 30 banger on the board against that Carolina defense. It's going to miss Luke Kuechly this week. 30-24 Raiders cover and over.
Wow. Interesting. Very interesting, and I'll tell you why it's interesting, because I like the Oakland Raiders to win this game as well, and I like them to win 30-20. That defense played pretty well the other night. Granted, Brock Osweiler is by no means Sonny Jurgensen, Sammy Baugh, Johnny Unitas, or Mitch Kumstein, but they played. That defense is improving. They're learning to set the edge, to control the running game. This is not that Raider team of years past that got run over. I think at home they've struggled a little bit, but it's time for them to show the hometown crowd what they can do as well. They've got to show up. They've got to defend the house. They're going to beat the Carolina Panthers 30-20. I see this happening. Carolina is this is it. They're fizzling out. But as we talked earlier, for a fantasy implication, don't be surprised if a guy like Ted Ginn gets one. Don't be surprised if Cam gets one. But don't be afraid in a daily fantasy to start Derek Carr this week. Carolina's pass defense isn't very good.
Yeah, and you know what, just to add a little bit to that, Tom, if I could, Mexico City, that game was played at, as we all know, very high altitude.
Yep.
That Raider defense was on the field. The time of possession was ridiculously favored for Houston.
Yeah.
I think that they were a little bit tired there late in the game. I think they're gonna be up and ready for this one though. 30. What did I say? 30-24. Yeah.
Unless there's inside knowledge. There's inside knowledge. The Raiders all drank the water prior to the Monday night game. Have all been sick this week with Montezuma's revenge.
That's not true.
Don't drink the water. Drink the Kool-Aid.
That's it. Drink the silver and black Kool-Aid. Moving right along, Joey. Here's your boys, man. This is I'm not trying to pile on here, man. But gangrene is festering and stinky and in all kinds of trouble. They're at home against a division rival.
Speaking of gangrene, I think I caught that in Tijuana one time. But yeah. I mean,
I don't know if that's what that was. Spent too much time with the Donkey Show.
Yeah.
New York Jets host the New England Patriots. They are a 7.5-point home dog. Over under here 46.
You know something? I want to throw this out. I was talking to a guy who's a native New Yorker who's also a suffering Jets fan too. He said that what they call Ryan Fitzpatrick, I think it's hysterical. They call him the bearded woman in New York. I just find that to be pretty funny.
Why?
It is pretty true because I don't know, because he has a big long beard and he's terrible. So maybe just some bad connotation of bearded woman.
Yeah,
I don't know.
I guess it doesn't need a reason, but yeah, Fitzy hasn't played and he hasn't convinced anybody.
No. But you know what? This is the Jets give the Patriots every year, no matter how bad they are. There is one game of the year they give the Patriots hell. One of the two games, and it's usually the time they play the Patriots at home.
Okay.
If I'm seeing, you said 7. What did you say the line was? 7.5.
7.5 over under here 46.
7.5 over under 46. I say the Jets cover. I say the Jets cover that because they usually always give New England a game at home, no matter what. They usually do, and I'm going on that. I will say New England Patriots 27, Jets 20. Jets cover, New England wins.
The half-point covering on the hook. Pepper Jack, what do you think?
I say the Patriots are averaging 30.8 points per game, which is on the road, which is tied for first in the NFL. They're also 5-0 straight up and against the spread on road games this season. 4 of those wins they've won by at least 11 points. I'm going to say they hit it right on the head, 30.8 to 17.
Must have been a mistake.
I got no faith in New York Jets, Joey. I know you're right. They do play the Patriots close normally.
Yeah, you made the smart play. I went by quite some emotion right there. Although I really don't even care if they get killed tomorrow. I'm just going to throw my shoulders up and take another sip of my Tito's and be like, well, that's about what they're good. They're worth.
What did you have that score at, Jack? 30.8 to what?
17. Actually, I'm going, because I believe that, what do you have for the over in that game?
Total here is 46.
Okay, well, I'm going to change my pick then to, how about 30-14, because I do believe that game's going to go under the total.
Sneaky under total?
Is notorious for keeping games under the total on the road. Yeah, 30-14. I don't see the bearded woman mustering up too much excitement for the gangrene this week.
We might see a new age butt fumble.
You never know.
Well, I'll tell you what, man. Just so everybody knows out there that we don't discuss our picks and plays prior to this show. We just let them rip. But I write everything down when I do the pregame here. You initially said this. You had New England winning this 30.8 to 17. So 31-17. I actually I have New England winning this game 31-15, right at that over/under number at 46 as well. I agree with you. I'd stay away from the total on this game because you never know. This could very easily be a tight, like Joey says, tight. They play each other as division rivals sometimes tend to. But I think New England probably gets away with one here late. It doesn't look like that secondary with the Jets is very good at all. Maybe guys like Edelman and Martellus Bennett, they get loose. Then Malcolm Mitchell seemed to make a little bit of a statement there last week.
Nah, Buster Screen looks like he should be, he should be singing "Who Let the Dogs Out" rather than playing secondary in the NFL. He can't cover anybody.
Really? Yeah, I'm not a fan of that secondary. I think that Revis is old. Just no tools. I'm really intrigued by Malcolm Mitchell, though.
Yeah,
I think he's a kid that can absolutely fly.
Normally those receivers hit their stride in year 3. I believe this is his rookie campaign.
It is, yep.
But, they'll bring him along. They'll bring him along. He's starting to get more involved in their passing game now. He